time there was a little boy named Orley, and he wanted to get himself a cricket. Well, he looked out in the big green meadow and over by the red barn, and pretty soon he found a little old black cricket. Well, happens he passed a blacksmith shop, and the old smith, he heard the cricket a-chirping. So he says, "Howdy, Orley. I sure would be proud to have that cricket." Well, Orley gave it to him, but he's a little lonesome for it, too. So he puckers up, and he says, "I went all day to get myself a cricket. I got myself a cricket, and I give it to you, but you give me nothing at all." Well, now, the old smith, he felt pretty mean, so he gave Orley a nice hoe, and Orley hit for home. Pretty soon he seen a poor old man a-trying to dig a well with his bare fingers. And when he seen the hoe, the old man, he says, "My poor old fingers is about to give out. I sure could use that there hoe." Well, Orley, he give it to him, and then he says, "I went all day to get myself a cricket. I got myself a cricket, and I give it to the smith. He give me a hoe, and I give it to you, but you give me nothing at all." Well, now, the old man, he hit water about this time, so he gave Orley a bucketful, and Orley taken out for home. Well, he yipered along a small piece, and he seen a poor old tree a-creaking and a-groaning in the wind. And when the tree seen the water, he says, "I sure wish I had some water to grease up my poor old aching, creaking joints." Well, Orley, he poured the water on the tree, and then he says, "I went all day to get myself a cricket. I got myself a cricket, and I give it to the smith. He give me a hoe, and I give it to the old man. He give me water, and I give it to you, but you give me nothing at all." Well, the old tree, he felt kind of bad, so he reached up and picked a big old green katydid off in his trunk and gave it to Orley, and Orley hit for home again. Pretty soon he passed a big old bully frog a-setting by a puddle, and the old bully frog, he says, "Howdy, Orley. Nice katydid. Let me take a look at him." Well, Orley, he stepped up, and zip-zap, the old frog grabs the katydid and swallers him. Well, Orley's good and mad now, and he says, "I went all day to get myself a cricket. I got myself a cricket, and I give it to the smith. He give me a hoe, and I give it to the old man. He give me water, and I give it to the tree. He give me katydid, and you add 'em up, and you give me nothing at all." Well, the old frog looks at him, and he says, "Uh-huh, and what's more, I ain't a-gonna give you nothing." And he dives kerslop into the puddle. Well, that just goes to show you that you can't expect to get every time you give. And if you do expect it, sooner or later you're going to lose your katydid. Orley did. That's all.